Here's what I hate most about the human experience. When it comes to the things that you want, you cannot have them. However, when it comes to the things that you do not want, you will have them, whether you like it or not. It always seems that what we want is actually impossible for us to obtain, no matter how hard we try. But when it comes to the very opposite of what we want, which is what we don't want, that is what we have continuously on a daily basis. For example, I wish that I made enough money to comfortably financially support myself, but yet I am impoverished and I still live at my old childhood bedroom with my parents. What an embarrassment. And when it comes to my job, I wish I could do what it is that I would actually prefer to do, like maybe being a zookeeper, or maybe being a, a professional skydiver where I teach people how to jump from a plane, and or maybe like a mountaineer, or I don't know, something that's just theoretically fun to do and I get paid to do it. But no, I do manual labor where I make a commission of like 10%, which is chump change. I wish that I could have a genius level IQ, but because of my learning disabilities, namely dyslexia, dysgraphia, dyscalculia, which is basically intellectual disabilities that makes it impossible to attend public school systems without being in a special ed environment. Uh, I would like the exact opposite. Why couldn't I have just been born with a genius level IQ and I could have gone a scholarship to some prestigious university? See, people often think I'm smart because I can articulate myself well at times and I have a decent vocabulary, but apparently you can articulate yourself with a Oxford dictionary memorized and you could still have a subpar IQ. But did I choose to be impoverished? No, it's literally the opposite of what I want. Did I choose to have a job that is physically taxing on my body for shit money? No, that's the opposite of what I want. Did I choose to have a learning disability that makes it impossible for me to attend college and universities without partaking in what's basically equivalent to a special ed variation of that, where you can't receive a PhD or anything like that? You get moreover like some certificate of completion, which is pretty much worthless. You know, did I choose that? Did I choose to be a ginger who, in the looks department, is probably a 6 at best, maybe even lower than that? It's like, no, that is the opposite of what I want. I want to have fun at my job to the point where it's not even a chore, it's something I want to do, and I want to make a shitload of money doing it. And I want to be good looking myself, and I want to have beautiful women on a constant basis who I am attracted to, and they are attracted to me as well. I mean, is that really too much to ask? But no, even when it comes to the things that we're supposed to otherwise enjoy, like going to a restaurant and eating our favorite thing off the menu, sometimes I find that when I try to pursue pleasure, I find that the activity is just pleasureless, where I just don't get anything out of it. That's the opposite of what I want. If I eat a meal, I want to enjoy that meal. If I am existing, I want to be happy all the time, and I want to experience so much fun and so much pleasure. I just want my reality to be just drugs, sex, and rock and roll without the hangovers. Just basically be a kind of hedonist that is just happy and just experiences every ounce of pleasure that life has to offer, whether professional, recreational, or even domestic. But I find that those three dynamics are just something that I dread doing. And I say to myself, is there anything in this life that I really want to do? Yes, but I can't do those things no matter how much I might like to. I get the opposite. I get no bitches, no pussy. I get chump change. I get living with my parents. I am in a situation where if I was to put my life in writing on paper, it's really nothing more than a fucking embarrassment that makes me feel like a piece of shit. But I say, is it my fault? Am I responsible? Am I doing something wrong? And I come to the conclusion that I ought not guilt trip myself in regards to those things because I feel that my life could only be the dislikable, sorry sack of shit that it is, and it could not be otherwise. For if it was otherwise, it would be the exact opposite of the shittiness of my life, and my life would be fucking awesome, filled with happiness, pleasure, and fun. Lots of pussy. And I understand that when I say lots of money, lots of prestige, lots of, it's like, oh, well, you're just entitled. You feel that life demands that you have all of these things because you think that you're special. But that's the main reason why I hate this fucking existence so much. It's that to experience something worthwhile is almost like a pipe dream. It's almost like a daydream that is completely ungraspable. And the only thing that you have that's closest to it is the nostalgia of all of the good things that you've experienced in childhood, things that you've experienced years and years ago. But you have this future tense hypothetical of that which you want, which is first and foremost the pursuit of happiness and to be financially lucrative, to do what you love, and loving what you do professionally, and having the opposite sex that is compatible with you. Are these things that really is quintessential for human happiness denied to us? I mean, is this really a reality that any of us would choose? Would we choose to go into a body where you have genetics that are going to make you bald prematurely, that are going to make you 5 foot nothing, and that is going to make you have mental health disorders and chronic diseases? It's like, no, what you would want is you would want to be tall, handsome, happy, healthy, triumphant in your life, where you dominate your fucking path with confidence and you're able to achieve that which you set out to achieve and love every second of it. But it's like, no. The vast majority of people get the exact opposite of what they want. What do I want? I want the exact opposite of what I'm forced to live with every single day, which apparently makes me entitled and apparently makes me asking for too much. Because it's too much to want to be happy. It's too much to want to make good money. It's too much to want to enjoy your job, to look forward to seeing your coworkers, to respect your boss, or better yet, being your own boss. It's like, nah, you're going to get the opposite. You're going to be in a toxic workplace environment. You're going to hate your boss. You're going to hate your coworkers. You're going to be subordinated. You're going to make shit money. You're going to live with your fucking parents. And you're not going to find love. You're not going to get a girlfriend. That's what you get. And then you want to make it stop. And with an act of your will, you try to pursue the opposite of what you have. But you find that it is completely denied and rejected to you. And you have to continue to endure the very things that you hate. I'm just making examples. To be honest with you, I don't really want a woman in my life at this point in time. I don't necessarily even want to make a lot of money or have a different job than I have right now. In theory, I do, but what I want most of all is, despite the fact that my life is the opposite of what I want, I wish it was just still possible for me to be happy in so doing. But the one thing that I want, which is just to be happy, is impossible. I have mental fog and depression in my brain, and I have chronic fatigue syndrome in my body. My thoughts are invasive, and they cause me to have insomnia, and they cause me to be agitated. And when I have emotions, it's never happiness. It's not even pleasure, because of the anhedonia, where when I try to experience pleasure, it's a pleasureless pleasure. I just go from depression to anger to indifference, and like nothing that anybody would want to experience. Like, imagine a soul before it reincarnates. It says that, okay, here's going to be your life. And then it's everything that I just told you thus far. They would say, fuck no. I don't want to be depressed. I don't want to be impoverished and have to work a job that I hate, still living with my parents when I'm almost 30. Can't even afford to fucking buy a car. Can't afford insurance, can't afford gas. Stuck in the bedroom all day when I'm not working. Like, what kind of meaningless and pathetic piece of shit of an experience would be a life so trivial, so nonsensical? Why would anybody want to endure that? And that's my question for people who say that we choose to reincarnate here. Why? Even with an act of your will, no matter how strong it is, you can't just will your mental disorder and the anguish that comes along with it to go away and be substituted with thoughts of self-confidence and positivity, because we can't control our own mind. We can't control our physical appearance. Some people are born short, some people are born ugly, some people are born in such a way where the opposite sex is not attracted to them, and it's completely outside of their control. Their mood disorders are completely outside of their control. We live situationally with our perspectival field of vision, with our first person consciousness that we're stuck with, where our own selfhood becomes a prison in which we cannot escape, where life becomes really unbearable because we have to experience all of the things that we hate most, and that which we would love to experience more than anything is the opposite of what we have to put up with every day. I would like to be sober, but I crave alcohol constantly. I would like to not smoke cigarettes, but I crave nicotine constantly. And those things Even though I'm psychologically addicted to them, they don't even give me pleasure. They just make me nauseous, dizzy, and hungover the next day. Give me a smoker's cough. Sometimes I smoke and it doesn't even produce dopamine, it just gives me anxiety, but yet I still do it. It's like, why? So give it up. Don't drink, don't smoke. But then you're just miserable in sobriety anyway. And you just want to do something to make it stop, but nothing takes away the depression. So, I guess the point of this video is I have concluded that life is a fucking nightmarish joke where it is like a horror that is both horrible and comical at the same time. And when I say whore, I don't mean whore like the kind you would see at a brothel. I mean whore like a horror movie. But then again, maybe it's a combination of the two. Maybe it is a filthy whore that causes us to be in a state of horror because it is just so horrendous, but yet comical and ironic at the same time. When it comes to all of the things that I want, this disgusting fucking world gives me the exact opposite. And it pisses me off. And then I tell people, and they say, well, what do you want? And I tell them what I want, and they tell me that I'm entitled. That I need to just be thankful and appreciate the things that I do have. But what do I have? Depression, subordination, impoverishment, a lack of a love life, lack of friends. Because whenever I try to pursue those things, it either ends in rejection, or I wind up getting a friend that was not a good friend, somebody that would stab me in the back. Same with sexual romantic partners, the kind that would just be toxic and not the kind of woman I want, not the kind of friend I want, not the kind of job I want, not the kind of financial situation I want, not the type of living accommodations that I want, not the type of emotional experience that I want, not the type of mentation that I want, not the type of IQ that I want. But if it was the opposite thereof, only then could I say that life would be good. But I feel that we live in a hellscape that makes that impossible. And that's the entire point. The entire point is to give you exactly what you don't want so you could be miserable. All we do in this YouTube community is complain about our lives and complain about the state of the world, and rightfully so, because this world gives me almost nothing but to complain about, whether it's the world at large, the state of human consciousness, or my own life. It is worthy of nothing but complaining, because I have nothing good to say about it.